Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really happy that we meet again within this bootcamp. As Jose already mentioned, my name is Katarzyna Łobacz and I represent Szczecin University in the As part of DIGIFABS Bootcamp that we are having now, I have a pleasure to lead the session on resilience in the context of food and beverage sector today. And first, before we start, I would like to make a short introduction to the session to just make you aware of what we expect to have learned today. So the session will introduce the concept of resilience and organizational resilience and their relation to digital mindset and digital transformation. We hope that the session content will contribute to a better understanding of the role of resilience in an ever-changing business environment, and to discover tools, frameworks, and practices that can help to increase this resilience. To achieve this goal that I just mentioned, the session will be divided into two parts. It will start with a short introduction focusing on inspiring thoughts on resilience in digitalization practice in food and beverage sector. Here we will take advantage of the experience of our unquestioned expert in IT systems implementation, Szymon Owsianowski, who is with us today, and who will present some interesting examples on the topic. And all this will provide foundations for the discussion forum that will follow this introduction. And in the discussion forum, we will also use the experience of the three experts that are also invited for today's session. And at that stage, we will also invite questions and comments from all the participants that we have today in the room. As Jose mentioned already, the session will take a little bit more than 1 hour. So we will start first with the introduction and then the discussion will follow. But before we go to the deep dive into the food and beverage sector, I would like to share some general thoughts on the topic of resilience itself. So please let me introduce that. Okay, so in general, resilience refers to the capacity to survive and recover quickly from difficulties, adapt to change, continue functioning effectively in the face of adversity. These three traits together define the specific mental state that allows one to bounce back from setbacks, regardless of the reason, whether it is sourced from personal issues, social, or environmental challenges. Given the above, organizational resilience is the ability of an organization to anticipate, prepare for, respond to, and adapt to incremental changes, but also to sudden disruptions to survive and thrive. Following the general concept of resilience, it defines the ability to bounce back from crisis, but also to evolve through those crises, gain strength, and develop new capabilities. A resilient business not only survives challenges, but often emerges stronger and more competitive after them. We might be more specific about why a resilient business is important. And here is a short answer to that. So the resilient organization is able to respond effectively to crises such as we are facing nowadays, like economic downturns, like supply chain issues, cybersecurity threats, or shifts in market demand, or changing regulations that also relate to food and beverage sector nowadays. And therefore, business resilience surely involves proactive risk management, strong leadership and crisis management, flexible operational models, and culture that supports learning, innovation, and continuous improvement. And so, in the age when change is constant and often unpredictable, such as with pandemic that we've experienced last time, geopolitical tensions, or technological disruptions, organizational resilience is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's the foundation for long-term sustainability, not just survival. And implementation of resilient ready strategies requires internal and external management strategies, but today it also requires technology and data utilization to help gain insights and improve responsiveness. So, since we are aware that digitalization might help increase the resilience, the question arises, what is required for efficient digital transformation? From the expert perspectives, we learned that the digital transformation is a process. It's a process that requires imagination, hard work, and also resilience that in this context is perceived as resistance and also perseverance in action. The digital transformation also requires employees to develop digital mindset. And the issue of digital mindset is quite often mentioned today as a requirement for efficient digital transformation. So based on the general perception of the mindset itself, the digital mindset can be defined as a set of attitudes and behaviors that enable people and organizations to see how data, algorithms, and today also AI, open up new possibilities to chart a path for success in the technology-intensive world that we face nowadays. The business practice proves that developing a digital mindset takes work, but it's worth the effort. And companies that have one react faster to shifts in the market and are much better positioned to take advantage of new business opportunities. And so, what is the connection between resilience and digital transformation in the food and the beverage sector? With this short introduction, I would like to leave now the floor to our expert to share his specific insights on the topic.
Yes. So maybe I start. My name is Roman Owczanowski. I run my own business. It's SAP consultancy business. It's a business that always, from 20 years, make the implementation of IT solutions to the different business, but especially for the beverage and for the food business also. After the introduction, myself and Piotr, I think Piotr say some words about you. Now I try to show you the road of one of big Polish beverage and food company that make the changes in their own history between the 2010 and nowadays. And I think this will be very important step to next discussion about the resilience and stable and some changes in organization that have already done in the past, but are still now need to have their own flexibility and some other thinking about them, like Katarzyna said, digital mindset. Maybe for first, Piotr and Magda, could you to introduce yourselves, and then I try to present the Maspex. It's a big Polish company like the Nestle, similar to Nestle. And
maybe Simon, we will do the introduction of Magda and Piotr when we start the discussion session. So if you could continue first with the example that you prepared for today.
Okay, so maybe I first make the presentation about the Maspex. Okay, so this example is about the Maspex, but the Maspex is the very big company that they have many different companies and the different factories in Poland produce the different products, and especially one of these companies, the part of the Maspex, is the beverage company with the high percent alcohol facilities. This is the CEDC. Our company, the OMM company, take a part with the changes in the CDC company during all the time that this company was make the changes in their own logistic behavior. So this presentation is about the logistic organization, what the logistic organization of CDC was changes in the 2010 to 2025 from the terminal, from the paper of sheet of working to the digital automation, like on the screens on the left, that the people for first working with the sheet of papers. Now they have the special automation in their own warehouses. And of course, how this changes involve and influence for the people. Of course, after pandemic situation, there's also many big changes for the organization, and this organization should also have change and should also have the resilience for their own logistic organization. But first, the CDC. CDC should have change in the past. First, between 2008 and 2015, spirit consumption in the Poland was increased in volume, and the culture of the consumption was also changed. Spirits, especially vodka, remained an important segment of the market. It was about 2008. But in the Poland, in that times, that begins of the trend of interest in a premium spirits, for example, whiskey and some premium wines, for example. So the company CDC also should to change. Growth in the consumption was driven by economic and social and cultural factors. For example, the wine and beer was more popular and spirit was less popular. And in these times, of course, the company have the special challenges. In 2008 to 2015, it became too necessary to implement logistic solution, some different logistic solution. They have to implement, for example, WMS systems. This means that the warehouses will be supported by some tools like the mobile tools, mobile device, and some other IT systems should be implemented, for example, ERP, SAP system. Challenges was important for that reason, that for the first product aspect, that many different people would like to have the wider assortment in their own business, especially this was many different retailers. So the CDC should to have not only the pure vodka, for example, Bols and Absolvent, but also they have to special and flavored vodka, some imported spirits, whiskey, and cognac. So they have to change their own business and make the wider assortment. The second challenge was that the cost aspects. For the beginning of the 2000 years, the many factories make the distribution only using the full pallet distribution. For the changing world, they should to make the special mixed pallets. So means they should to start the completion, they should to start very small and small scale distribution. They have to optimize the transport. They have had to optimize the picking process in the warehouse. But for the people in this company, in that days was very difficult to change because they have many different see for the business. For example, they always working with the sheet of papers. They always working with their own way, not in the way that the system is driven and the system order the people to working. So this company have to change itself. Before 2015, it is very difficult to change. The people have many different fears that they will be not, for example, AirNet, they fired and they have working without the sheet of paper. Some system will order them to do something. So this process of changing of this organization during the implementation of the IT solutions was very difficult, not only from the IT perspective, but from the organization perspective. The 3 years process of logistical adjustment of the warehouses and training of the people, overcoming implementation barriers, going beyond the comfort of zone of each people, if participant in the organization should to be done. All of the people have the different feeling of this system. They have thinking about how the system should work. They have their own requirements. And this is not only challenged by the IT, but sometimes this is challenged in the culture, and the managers of the company should to change the mindset of these people. So after this, where we start these solutions, of course, the people have the more experience and the more possibility to do the next one as project. But in that days, they have to get the not only IT solution, but they have to learn about the labeling, about the terminal solution, about the EIN codes, about the normal for today solution like SSCC standard, like in this screen. These people had to do many different knowledge for them. So they have to, on the end, get the preservance in maintaining the operation regime. It is not so field for work like in the past. They should work in the special procedure, in the special way. And this implementation means that the people should to change. Of course, the solution, IT solution, served the organization how to change the organization, but served the organization also how to change the people, and they deliver them some knowledge. This transition of implementation of IT solution for the CDC in 2015, in 2012 to 2015, could deliver for the people some possibilities. But first, people could to find some knowledge how to work in new way. People have no barriers. They have on the other side of the mountain. The next project could be done with the smile. These people was very open-minded for the next solution because they believe that we deliver them the safely. They have some partners to make them a new digital transformation for them, not only digital. The new world is very digital, and the world 5-10 years ago started to be digital. The people knows in that times that they do not want to work with the sheet of papers, but they should to work with some special tools like automation, like the terminals, like some other, for example, for example, earphones. So they had to also know that some of algorithms is better than them. For example, for the palletizing, for the making the special path of completion, something like the robots, like MFS. MFS, it's a material flow system that control how the pallets or cartons is moving to the palletizing automation, or for example, some production areas. So they knows during these times that all of the day the organization must had to be changed and had to chase after the changing world. For today, it is very different challenges, but I try to say about them in the next slides. In the next year, between the 2015 and 2020, this era will be start of digitalization, era of starting of algorithmization, not artificial intelligence is so popular in that times, because the neuron, for example, nets will not be so technically advanced, but some system should deliver people some new solutions. Of course, in this days, some competitors of markets have new solutions. And we, MASPEX, CDC, also should to meet the market requirements. So they need, for example, change their own thinking about the on-time deliveries, increase the fragmentarization of the market. They should to deliver directly to the shops, for example, for the retail nets, not directly to the distribution center. As you know, in these days, in the Poland, there will be set a huge number of logistic organization. We have many new warehouses, probably in each city, near each city, in Łódź, Warszawa, Gdańsk, Wrocław, Szczecin. We have many organizations that help us to make the supply chain very elastic, very stable, and very fragmentarization could to be also done. On the end, the producers also have the challenges. They should to have changed their organization to meet, for example, the requirements of growing of volume orders, of more small scale deliveries to the retail chains. They should to get some algorithmization to optimize what the pallets should to be moved together, what of these pallets should to be fragmentarized with the products, how the pallets should to be organized. For example, what the layer of the one product could to be stored for first, for the next, the same, for example, cartons should to be on the same layer. The small beverages on the one layer, the bigger on the next layer. That is not possible to do by the people themselves. Only the IT system could to have the algorithm, but the people should to know and believe the system, that the system working for them, not artificial intelligence, but the system. And during these days, MASPEX, that is the new company of the CDC, but first CDC, set the new project in the Sady near the Poznań. They set the new distribution center, and this the new distribution center, like the different distribution center in the Poland, have the huge number of square meters, about 50, 100,000, and they should to serve their client directly from this warehouse. This is the new challenge for the organization. Not only deliver the products from the facility, from the plants, there's many plants, not one plant, producing the beverages in Poland, but also they should to organize the small distribution from the distribution center in the Sady. This is the one wave. These slides show you the one wave in 2020, maybe 2019. I do not remember, but it's only one wave of loading. This loading of one wave means that 100 trucks leave these distribution centers by the one wave. These waves could to be, for example, 5 during the one day. The people should to only have the orders how they should to work. The system should to have any algorithmization, how the pallets should to be collected, how these pallets should to be loaded, how these pallets should to be stored. For this changes, for this organization, not IT system is the key point. Absolutely not. IT system is only tool. It's only tool that deliver how it could to work. And in our philosophy, in our company, is that we should to serve the people in the company. This is also some question, what is the strategy of the company to do the digitalization and resilience for the changes? For example, for the lower demand, for example, or higher demand, for example, it's also a challenge. And some of the organizations in Poland have their own team. This own team is responsible for the changes in the logistic, in the organization, in the people training, in the people changes, and for the IT. Sometimes for this people teams is in that way that this people team is responsible for the IT and the changes. The way of this strategy of the digitalization is for the aspects. This is the team of the digitalization, and the people that is working in this team is also manager of the warehouses, manager of the production plants. So sometimes they are using in this organization different scope, different solution for IT, different thinking about the production, different thinking about the warehousing. But it's very important for this open-minded thinking is that these people and these teams are very open for the client. The last time in the Poland, it is very popular to ask the presidents or the owners of the big Polish companies, because this owners is older, and people ask them, what are they do? What is the main key point for the organization? What are they doing? And for example, for Amica, the last interview with the president of the Amica is, I am producing the cookies for my customers. Not I manage the organization and I thinking about the how to manage the people. No, I am producing the cooks. I am selling the beverages, because the key point is that the clients, customer, pay for the product for us, not pay for the thinking about the organization, about the manage the organization, about the be very good manager. The teams that working have the participants from the sales, from the production, from the warehousing, and of course from the IT. If there's no collaboration between these people, the silos thinking will be very not good idea. And I try to say that the organization that would to like to have some open-minded people and will be stable from resilience, they should to have thinking about the business and the requirements of the business, of the market, not only in the internal problems of the organizations. So these teams was set, and this team was responsible for the changes. On the next...
Sorry, Szymon, could we maybe stop now and leave the next insights that you have to the discussion forum, because we are a little bit running out.
I have only one slide. If there's a problem, I try to show only the last slide and start the discussion, if it is possible, of course.
Of course, yes.
Okay, this is the last slide. And maybe this is two last slides, but I say only 2 words. After 2020, there was pandemic, and for the organization was big next one challenge. The people living home, and the next would like to working remotely, would like to be give me this immediately and to my home. So very big challenge to change the organization to deliver the products using the e-com, or for example, like big sellers in the B2C. And this is the answer: automatization, because no people could to do that huge number of deliveries. Only the automat could to do it. So the next civilization step is that this automat will be controlled by AI, not by algorithm of the systems. And the last word, the mass specs and CDC, it's the main big two facilities: Białystok plant producing the Absolut vodka, Oborniki plant producing the Soplisa and Bols, and Sade, this is the distribution, and many different small plants. So now I stop, and maybe Kasia make some question for the people, for me, and so on. Okay?
Yes, thank you very much, Szymon, for those insights. They were we could really touch how the digital transformation look like really in the company, and how does the digital transformation might impact resilience of the organization, so its responsiveness to the changes that happen in the environment. But also we could see that it's never an easy process in an organization, especially if an organization doesn't have a huge experience with digitalization, which means that it requires that the people gain the basic competences, but that the people also have to learn their digital mindset, or get the digital mindset to be able to understand that the digital change in the organization is necessary and also will help the company to develop in the future and, of course, survive. Okay, and to continue this discussion and also to give maybe some more experiences, to share some more experiences, to give some more examples, we could now skip to the short discussion that we prepared for today. And maybe I will now try to share again my screen with the presentation to make it easy for everyone. Yes, I'm trying to do that. Hopefully successful. Okay, so for the discussion forum to discuss today the relationship between the resilience and digital transformation, I invited, except of Szymon, of course, 3 more experts, as mentioned before. And these 3 experts are Piotr Stegman, who represents also IT system implementation company that is added, and he is responsible for implementation of the system that is very much relevant for food and beverage. Magdalena Malinowska, who is educating people in IT systems implementation and also using, and Paweł Głodek, who has a bit different perspective as innovation and technology trainer. And we would like to, of course, invite everyone to participate in that discussion forum with the questions and maybe with the comments you might have. And so before maybe we start with our discussions, I will ask our experts to give a few words of introduction about themselves. I'm not sure, Szymon, if you would like to add something more about yourself.
No. I introduced before, so maybe Piotr, Magda, and Paweł.
Yeah, okay, so let's maybe skip to Piotr Stegman.
Hello.
Yes,
Does my microphone work very well?
Yes, it is working. Okay. Yes, we can hear you well. So if you just, give us a few words of introduction.
Okay. So, few words about myself. My name is Piotr Stegman. I'm working with smaller companies than Szymon. I'm working with Horeca Industries. That's mean hotels, restaurants, and caterings. And I am owner of the Audit Technologies company, who is in marketing from in 20 years from now. So I've got some experience with customers, and we can talk about my experience. I also have degrees in both in gastronomy and computer science. So from my education is and my work experience it is easy for me talking with my customers. I knew their needs. I knew what they want. This give me opportunities to easy talk with about the digitalization of the companies. So I use it every day. So this is my history. This is me. So if you want to talk about my experience, I am open to you.
Okay, thank you very much. Magda, could you please speak up?
Yes. Hello. Welcome the audience. Welcome the speakers. So I'm Magdalena Malinowska. I'm an employee of University of Szczecin. I work in Szczecin as a teacher, as a researcher. I'm a coordinator of scientific and education laboratory that is oriented on optimization of logistics processes, mainly oriented on IT system. This optimization is mainly oriented on IT system. My personal experiences and my personal thinking about food and beverage issues is focused on implementation and supporting companies with dedicated IT systems, with dedicated tools that can improve the operational efficiency, that can support the business process modeling. So in this part, I would like to say that I learn students how to use specific tools, how to optimize the processes, how to simulate the processes to achieve better efficiency level and better operational efficiency while running business and while running specific processes in the organization.
Person on the list is Paweł Głodek. If you could, just a few words.
Just a few words. Good afternoon. If I may introduce myself, I would do in three group of topics. So I'm a lecturer. I'm lecturer for University of Łódź for more than 25 years. And one of my most interesting for me at least, hopefully for my students also, topic is innovation management and technology transfer, but a part of entrepreneurship and other topics. So the second area is to be advisor, especially for technology-based academic spin-offs who developed at the University of Łódź and other universities. So that gave me experience related to technology transfer, technology commercialization, and especially business model development. And the second and third area is research area. I'm a researcher, also a researcher in innovation management and a researcher in digitalization processes. So that's a few words about me. Thank you.
Okay, I think more than few words, but okay. Let's maybe try to now use this 4 different perspectives, or maybe even more perspectives that our participants bring in to the table, with to try to deal with the first question that we have for today. I'm trying to skip the slide, but it does not work. Okay, still I can't. Yeah.
I can share screen with the second slide if you would like.
Yes, maybe we can proceed like this, or maybe I will try to escape.
Kasia.
Okay, now I my computer is starting collaborating with me. Okay. Sorry for that. Okay, yes. Okay. Thank you, Szymon, for that. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Okay, so yeah, if we could maybe start the discussion considering the broad perspective on the question that is given on the screen, that is, what is the general attitude of food and beverage companies to business digitalization? What different strategies can be applied, and how does it impact organizational resilience? So let's try to build the connection between the digitalization and the organizational resilience. And maybe we will try to answer also the question, how does the attitude of the people involved in the process change over time, and how it might change. You already, Szymon, mentioned something about that, but maybe let's try to go a little bit deeper into that. But I will maybe first ask Piotr to share his perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we from the 20 years my experience, we can divide this time for two parts. First part is the part when my customers thinking about digitalization like a cost, like something they think they don't need. But the pandemic time in the 2020 was the time, I think Szymon mentioned before, I've got the same experience. That was the time when the customers start to think about digitalization, because the only solution to go to their customers was the connection by the social media, connection by the programs, by the IT solutions. So that was the time when my customers start to thinking about the digitalization. This is the first thing. The second thing is the government law, the government restriction, the government things that change, and they need to much more things to be digitalization. So computer systems can provide to them, and like 20 years ago, my customers thinks the computer systems I don't need it. That so in this time now I think they have to install make the installation, because there is some many things that they need to do with the IT systems. They need to think about the have one. So this is my experience. I think this was the time. So the pandemic systems put them to the mind about the digitalization. And I think the social media and e-commerce in this time was so much growth, so much experience. My customers have so many experience with social media and e-commerce. So this is the second things, and the next things that the digitalization must be in the companies, in their business. So this is my observation in a few words, from my perspective. Yes. So this is how I see it at this moment.
So if I understand what you're saying is that the companies nowadays are more aware of the need for digitalization, yes. And yes. Therefore they are also more open for implementing yes. new solutions, and they are also actively looking for them. Do you think that they are also aware that this digitalization might contribute to their resilience?
I don't. Maybe. I think my customers work with digital. Use the digitalization from the perspective of their customers, of their clients. And I think that's the most important thing. They don't think about the resilience, about from that perspective. I think they work with perspective from their customers, for their clients. They want to be in the client's mind. They want to be fast in the client minds, and they want to sell the products how fast they can. So they must work with IT solution. This is the main thing, I think. They don't think about the resilience. Yes, I think that this is about about Horeca clients. Yes, from my experience.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much for this insight. Paweł, maybe if you could add something from your perspective.
Yes. Firstly, it's a very complex issue, very complex topic. So there's a lot of issues which might be highlighted during the discussion. I would say I would like to focus on two elements. I mean, one is that at least some food companies, I have some experience with companies related to meat production, and we can observe that they are very proud of what they are doing, very proud of their history, but they are differ in attitude towards digitalization very much, and some of them are focusing mainly about production, because production is the core of their existence. So the digitalization is mainly done when is necessary. I mean, necessary is in some areas like accounting, of course, human resource management, that is necessary. So some companies are focusing on that and buying some systems, and of course in last years there are some formal requirements which give another incentive, especially for production digitalization, because there is a related to the meat identification that needs to be every part of the production needs to be clearly identified to the source. So there needs to be digitalized, and of course they create separate system for this topic, and that leads to the problem when they realize that okay, we have a couple of tools for different parts of the companies, and they are not very much cooperate one to each other. And it's might be related to some cost options. Of course, that it's cheaper to make some, you know, small programs, maybe cheaper from the very short time perspective. But if we look at long-term perspective, especially when companies like that facing a growth issues. So growth is of course chance to be developed, but also there is a danger because they creates additional needs, especially for complex management and for complex management of the companies. So they face the problems related to the exchanging all the tools to create modular digital tool for complex management of the company, and that sometimes is really a challenge and really too much, and some sort of there is a lot of excuses what company do to just to postpone the project, postpone this process. However, those companies who really, as Szymon explained, those companies who really passed the process and understood the core of digitalization and how they operate and know how they operate, that is absolutely different word. I mean, different thing to discuss with managers who have experience and who done this complex digitalization, because they use a different wording and have a different understanding what the processes means. But one of the key elements is to make a decision, of course, to bear the costs and to understand what is really digitalization about. That this is not about just having additional tools, additional something funny, but it's really complex reorganization of thinking about company organization and company processes. Thank you.
Okay, so you're also raising, Paweł, problem of integration of different IT tools and systems in one company that result often from step-by-step implementations. So when the companies implement different systems for to support different functions.
Yeah. When we have small companies, I mean, when we talk to small companies, of course, small companies have their own logic and they focus on the short-term costs. So they are looking for cheap solutions, which are not usually the best on the market, but they can create some sort of relief for the company for the short time and for the specific area of the company activity. But in terms of resilience, the changing environment, especially growing needs, which is of course most of the company is very happy to grow, but it creates absolutely challenges for those companies, and they need to exchange their mindset completely.
Yeah, so we might understand that this challenge might also affect the long-term resilience of the companies if they do not manage to integrate functions and the systems they have in place. Okay, and maybe Magda, if you could add something to that perspective. Is your perception the same, or maybe you have some other insights?
So, in case of food and beverage sector, but not only, also other sectors. So the digitalization, the transformation is happening. And all companies, especially after 2020, is focused on digitalization because of different aspects. So because of customer experiences and expectations, because of operational pressure, because of global crisis, and so on and so on. So having a very well-oriented supply chain, having a good response for the client's needs, what was underlined by Szymon, is really necessary. And these digital tools are now, the background for supporting these processes, for supporting for this needs. So, but what was also underlined, companies, are using many different tools. So there is a lot of problems with, with integration of technologies, with integration of tools, with storing data, with, exchanging this data. So, but this is only one technical point of view. The second aspect, I think, which is very important, is also the educational part. So, and competences of people. And here, I'm saying from the university perspective, there is a huge, there is a huge leading role of the universities, and there is a huge there's a huge expectation from the university to rethink their role and to change and reform some structures, reform educational programs, redesign curriculums, I don't know, to involve more practical examples, to have a stronger connections with companies, a stronger collaboration to solve, I don't know, the company's problems, to analyze these problems, to prepare future employees with open-minded and open thinking for these changes, because now a lot of university programs are based on, I don't know, theoretical knowledge without these practical implications. And now what needs to be changed, or what is changing now, is to implement digital tools in educational process. When I started work at the university, I have the opportunity to create the laboratory, because I graduated from the computer science. So I thought, I don't know, it was 20 years ago. What we can do is to organize totally digital laboratories, so to buy a lot of tools from different types of organizational support. And what has happened at the beginning, when I started to work as student, they were afraid. They didn't understand, the purpose of this tool. They didn't understand what is the role of these tools and how these tools can support real processes, real organization. And now, after 15 years, 20 years also. So we have a big change. So now we have a stronger link to digitalization. We implement in our curriculum a lot of subjects, a lot of courses with digital tools, and we show how these digital tools support competitiveness, effectiveness of the organization, effectiveness of the processes. So in this case, what I still think is missing is this digital mindset, so or the mindset in general, because there was a huge problem and huge effort to convince people that we need to go to digital part, that we need to involve digital tools in education on very high level. So in this case, I think this tools-oriented courses, this tools-oriented and software-oriented programs need to be involved not only in the computer science, but also in other, in management, in logistics, in transport, to show that today the digitalization is the core for changes.
Okay, so thank you, Magda, for mentioning the alliance, the necessary alliance between the competences and the digital mindset.
May I add just a word?
Yes, sure.
Sorry, I know it's late, but because usually we think that some problems with digitalization are related to let's say to small companies, but to let's say food and beverage, which based on the basic technologies. But the case of which Szymon showed us show us the big company with high large production, and also I work with high-tech companies which develops their technology, but they very much forget about the management and to manage processes in an advanced digital way. So they are very focusing on the production, but still can use Excel for contacting or calculating some elements related to the clients, which is very in line with what Magda said. That is, digitalization is a part of way of thinking, not only about the computers itself, but about the management way of doing or organizing processes within the company. Also, high-tech company, low-tech company, small and large. Thank you.
Yes, exactly. And this is how we define the digital mindset today, that is the specific state of the mind that help us imagine different digital tools or digital services in specific functions, that we can imagine how digital tools can help us solve our problems in the organizations and contribute to their development. And that understanding is also very important to create the resilient organization. Okay, yes, we are running out of time. I'm perfectly aware of that, Jose. I was thinking about maybe also allowing the floor for the audience, maybe our participants, to contribute with their comments and questions. I'm not sure if we have like 5 minutes for that, or we should finish the session now.
Yeah, we do have 5 minutes. It's fine. Yes.
Okay. Okay, so let me maybe open the stage for our participants. If anyone would like to speak, we're very welcome.
Shall we have some comments on chat that was given by Dominic?
Okay. Yes, Dominic, would you like to speak?
Yeah. So I think what you all mentioned really resonated with me from a perspective that digital technology is a tool, and we need to find the correct tool for a given problem, and then involve the whole team. And it's always also about the humans at the end of the day. If we don't involve the team, and if we don't convince the team that has to work with a given solution, we can't, or it won't work, right? And by doing so, by creating such an open mindset, by convincing people that technology can help us, if it can, then we get a resilient organization, because we are more likely to be able to adapt to change in a more efficient and quicker manner. That's my take from your different perspectives. And thank you very much for sharing. I think it's a very good group of different perspectives that has a very common message from what I took with me. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Dominic, very much for that comment.
Maybe
okay. Yes.
Maybe one comment, because from the perspective of something, from the perspective of IT company. My company have the big clients, Piotr company have the small clients. From Horeca, we have the big companies that have the big processes. but I have there some. Okay, I think the. Sorry, but I have some problem with the somebody's.
We can hear you.
Yeah, something's vibrating,
Hello, hello?
I think.
Yeah.
But we can hear you fine.
Okay,
we can
okay.
hear you.
Okay, so I think the world 20, maybe 30 years ago was like that. I have the only phone. Now I have the smartphone. And then the smartphone, of course, is the digital communication with other people. But for the people, the natural communication is face to face. People talk together and try to set the solution. For now, I think the IT solutions is a big challenge for the IT solutions. There's the huge number of the different programs, different solutions, different integration, like you said, about the data, about the interfaces and so on. And for now, if you would like to change the organization, if you would like to change the future, I think the IT also should to change, because the problem is that we have behavior that we set the programs. These programs were programmed by that company like Piotr, like me, and this program is do something. For example, warehouses, Horeca, sales, something else. But finally, the connection between the people and the neuron, like we, for example, speaking together, we try to find the solution much more faster than the programs speaking together. So probably the digitalization of the organizations in the future have some special bigger challenge, how to connect people, how to connect the tools, how to make the programs to be programs, maybe the artificial intelligence, to be useful for the people. Because for now, there's so many big challenges, big mountains to do. For example, if we make some improvement in sales, we have the problem in logistics. So, as you say, Pavel, there's a very big challenge for the management of whole and fit this digitalization for the useful for the people. It's only philosophy, but IT also have the problem. Yeah, that's my comment for Dominic and Pavel words. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Szymon, for this additional comment. I think we could continue this discussion for a long time, as there are so many issues and so many perspectives. But I think we should finish for now. Maybe I will have shared the final conclusion that digital technologies can help us to support many functions, many activities that we are doing, like the one that we are doing at the moment. So it helps us to meet in a way that we are meeting. Of course, also today meeting was not without technical challenges. So we have to learn how to use the technology properly and how to use it in the most efficient way to contribute to our lives, our development, and our resilience for the future. Okay, so that's the final comment from me. I will now hand over to you, Jose.